Hello, and welcome to Saw Dog Woodworking. My name is Paul Chapin, and I am the owner and sole employee of Saw Dog Woodworking, for now anyway. Today's day one, and I am very excited about this. Nervous as anything to kind of be taking this leap of faith and getting started. But I thankfully have the support of a lot of good friends. I have a wonderful family. My wife and my daughter are fully supportive of this. My wife especially, because we're living off of her paycheck right now until clients start rolling in. And I've spent the last few months just putting all of this together that you see behind me, and there's more over there. It's a 2-car garage. It's not a lot of space. I'm using a lot of antique tools. My table saw alone was my grandfather's, and that was from 1952, so still working. Fingers crossed on that. But I want to take you along with me. I figure I know a lot of things and I want to show you how I do them. So the goal, first off, I guess, to talk about Saw Dog Woodworking as a business, it's going to be custom furniture, custom cabinetry. Just if somebody's got an idea in their head and they want to have it built, they just don't know how, I'll build it for them. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not going to build you a house. I'm not going to build you a deck, but I'll make it pretty. So that is the goal of Saw Dog tentatively. I'm sure, all businesses grow and change. They live in this constant state of flux, but the business model to start is just building what people want. Like I said, it's something I've been doing on my days off and weekends. I'm 50 years old now, and I have been doing this for most of my life. And I just thought, you know what? Why not? Why not just live my life the way I want to live it? I am a former HVAC technician, which transitioned into becoming an HVAC and plumbing instructor at the trade school in Portland, PATHS. I was there for 7 years, and it was a good 7 years. It was a hard 7 years. Anybody that's ever been a teacher or is a teacher, I think you understand what I'm saying. It's like having a kid. You think you're prepared, you think you know what it's all about until you do it. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. You build your curriculum, and then you've got summers off. Oh yeah, summers off. Not to mention winter break, February break, and April break, and umpteen holidays. It's wonderful. But I started to realize that the only reason I was staying is because of all the time off. I liked not being there. So if any of my former students find their way to this channel, I just want you to know, my reason for quitting was not you. It was never you. It was some of you. Let's be honest. It was some of you. And you probably know who you are, and you're probably not coming to this station. But I am lucky enough to still have former students call me up, touch base with me. We have dinner from time to time, and I'm lucky enough to call them friend now. And that really meant a lot to me. That was really the wonderfulness of taking from being a teacher, is imparting what I know and taking these good kids and making them better kids. And I'll always be grateful to have that time. But there's a lot of things a lot more to it that's emotionally heavy, and I don't like talking about it. It's kind of a bummer. To stay authentic with you, my hopefully large viewing audience one day, it was tough. There was a lot of, I had to fight to do a good job. I wanted to do a good job, and I was trying to do a good job, but I had to fight constantly for materials and support and better ways of doing things. The education system, I cannot even stress to you, is so broken and archaic that it was a beast that I could not fix. And you pepper in, just the secondary traumas of taking on the emotions of these kids. Are they getting enough to eat at home? And not having power over that. I can feed them when they're in front of me, but I have no no power over what happens to them at home. And, keeping them safe in the building wasn't even a guarantee. We had 2 school shooting hoaxes. Thank God they were hoaxes, but at the time I didn't know. When you think people are going to be murdered in front of you or you're going to be murdered yourself, it's not a great day. And you never know when that day is going to come. So that compiled on, again, not to get too deep into it, but there were a lot of things that I took on. The job destroyed me emotionally, if I'm being honest with you. And it's taken a few months to get past that. I don't know if I'll ever be quite the same as I was when I started, for better or for worse. It definitely changed me for good, and I'm going to stay positive with those goods and try to, take the lessons of the bad. And I think that's what makes starting my business so easy. Easy. That's a stupid statement, but when you stand in front of apathetic high school students that don't give a crap and don't want to be there that day because you're teaching a boring lesson, and this might be boring for you, and I apologize. You get a thick skin. When you think you're going to be murdered, you get a thick skin. I don't really feel, and I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think there's much this business can throw at me that I'm not going to be able to handle. So I'm taking a positive road on this, and I'm going to stay positive, and I want this channel to be positive. And I'm looking forward to just showing you what I know. When I first took on the teaching role, like I said, this would have been the beginning of year 8 for me if I had returned a couple weeks ago. It's September right now. I had gone into the school. I was working for the city as an HVAC technician. I'd gone into the school to repair the AC for the office, and ended up talking with the office secretary. And she asked me, "Oh, you're very articulate. Have you ever thought about teaching?" And my exact answer to her was, no thanks. I'm all set. I love what I do. I love the crew I have. No, but thank you. She's like, "Oh, well, that's too bad. Our plumbing and heating instructor is retiring." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I wish you luck." So I was just using their Wi-Fi to put the piece of equipment into our system, and I was going to head out, and the director of the school, all of a sudden he's this present standing above me, and he's like, "Hi." I'm like, "Hello. Did they come get you to see if I would be interested in teaching?" And he's like, "You got a minute?" So I went in, I chatted with him for a little bit, and had no intention. I'm just like, okay, this is fine, whatever. Made it about halfway back out to my service van, and I'm like, what am I doing? I went down. It's almost like the hand of fate grabs you, and I went down, and I I spoke with the current instructor who was retiring, and after having talked with him and the masonry instructor next door, both really good guys, I called my wife from my van. I remember it was 10 a.m. and I told her, "Hey, so this just happened." And she says, "Well, I say this with love, but if you don't at least try to go for this, then you're an idiot." And I was like, "Okay, well, what?" She's like, "Well, this is what you do. You teach. Anybody that comes into your radius and has a question, you show them what to do." With the kids, the neighborhood kids, my nephews, just anybody in general that has a question and I know how to do it, I show them what to do. And I know how to do a lot of things. I'm not a job jumper, but I had a lot of different positions over the years. I've been everything from, I've had 28 jobs. This is number 28. So most people don't have that many. But again, they were transient jobs to go through college and whatnot. So some of them were just, obviously temporary jobs, but I just put them down through my resume. But I've been a plumber, a welder, a carpenter. I've worked for the Allagash Brewing Company up here in Maine. I was a zookeeper for 5 years at the Capron Park Zoo down in Attleboro, Massachusetts. I was a park ranger at a state park down in Mass. I've been a bartender, waiter. I had a job where I took notes for my college classes, turned those in, and people bought those. Yeah, I've guarded dirt. I worked at a quarry as a security guard, and I watched dirt for a summer. You know, it's been quite the ride. I owned a dog training business when I first came up here called No Fret Pet Care. Trained a lot. I specialized in aggressive animals, trying to get them to be friendly. Yeah, and then started getting into the HVAC world and fell in love with it. I love fixing things, and I love just building and designing, and in the end, I love imparting. I love showing people what I can do. So anyway, that's the quick spiel of who I am and why I'm here. It's nerve-wracking, to say the least. But I appreciate you at least coming by to check this out. I hope you come back in the coming videos. I have a set of drawers that I made. I needed some more storage down here because I had crap everywhere. I'll show you the before picture in the next video. Technically the first instruction video. I'll show you how I built it. I spent $24 on this cabinet, and I renovated my kitchen last summer, and I took a lot of the cabinet doors and the peninsula that we had, some shelving, and it was stacked down here in the shop for a year, knowing that I was eventually going to turn it into something. So a lot of what you're going to see me build isn't all from brand new. I look at the world not as, oh, that's a dresser, or that's a bookshelf, or that's, you know, a kitchen. I see it as materials. So sometimes it takes a lot longer, and you'll see that in these videos. So anyway, I've got some drawers that I built, a 12 drawer cabinet that's sitting off to the side here. I'm not going to spoil what it looks like. You'll see it from start to finish. I've built a miter saw station. That's over in that corner. You'll see that. The workbench behind me is, as you can see, it's not painted yet, but rebuilt that. There's an assembly table that this camera is sitting on right now that used to be that workbench, and now is a full assembly table. I talk about the whole build on that. I have rebuilt this entire shop, and I'm still going. I've got a router table that is going to be some content that I'm probably going to be starting later this afternoon. But I wanted to at least get something down on film, talk about who I am, and get rolling. So to everybody out there, I appreciate you stopping by, and just to circle back to teaching. Anybody that's a teacher out there, if you found this video, just know I see you. You know, I know what it is that you give up. I know what it is that you have to sacrifice to do your job. I know the rewards, and I know the pain. So you have my undying love and respect, and you deserve so much more. And I hope you get it. But on that note, thank you all for coming by. Pass this on, I beg you. I know it is the cliche of all these videos. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit that button. Please do. It costs you nothing, and it's going to mean the world to me. If I can get a community put together like I would like to, you know, I think I can keep teaching, and I can keep showing people and improving their lives, helping them improve their own lives. You know, giving knowledge is power, and to give you the opportunity to come here, ask your questions. We'll put it on film. We'll you know, have hopefully other experts coming in and talk about things. My way isn't the only way to do something. So, you know, just pass this on. That I would really, really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you, and stay tuned. I'm gonna be putting a lot of content out there. I'm just gonna front load. Anytime something comes done, it's gonna hit the channel. So eventually it'll be a once a week posting, probably with some Instagram and whatnot. Still got to get the website done. It's not done yet, and I'm gonna get on Instagram and whatever other social media. So if anybody has advice on that, I'm looking for it. If you want to be a troll, this isn't the place. But anyway, thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.